friends, I'm Carolyn Zook from C Zook Stitch, and today I'm going to do a little gift guide. So I'm going to mainly target this towards non-stitchers. So you can send this video to your loved ones if you want. If they're searching still for gift ideas for you, you are more than welcome to listen along as well. I have my notes. I have 4 pages of notes with links and everything. So I'm going to be linking everything I discussed down below. Please know this is just a few of my favorite things, really. There is tons more out there that I'm not going to be able to talk about. I'm going to try to keep this as short as possible. And I'm going to try to explain things as clearly as I can, since this is somewhat targeted towards those who are non-stitchers. So I hope to make this as easy as possible for you, and you still have time, but not much time. So you need to watch this and get shopping. So first up, one of the first things I'm not going to specifically discuss is fabrics, which is surprising. There are so many choices to choose from in terms of fabrics. Prices range from $10 on up for a piece of fabric. It depends on the quality. It depends on the size. It depends on the vendor, the material using, and it's a very personal preference for an individual. So fabrics specifically are not in this list just because it varies so much. The other thing I want to mention is if you have a $0 budget, which is entirely possible. So the $0 budget, shop your stash. I always thought it would be fun to do a stash swap with other stitchy friends. So you get something new, you maybe get rid of some things that you aren't going to stitch or aren't going to use, and you try to shop your own stash. And I think that would be kind of fun. So you're not spending any money other than mailing and shipping, and just have the rules are $0. So shop your stash and try to come up with something fun for the other person. So I think that would be fun. Also, you can always stitch a small piece using what you have at home, just a little small tag. I believe there's a lot of free charts online, and, stitchers really do appreciate that, they know the time that it takes to stitch something. So keep those in mind if your budget is literally $0. Shop your stash. So the way I've broken the rest of this video up is into price points. So my first category, which is by far the largest category, is the under $20 category. So under $20, now a lot of our supplies and accoutrements, if you will, fall in the under $20 category. Where we get in trouble as stitchers is that we want a lot of those under $20 categories, and they add up, right? So my first idea is a pack of needles. Here's an example, a pack of needles. You can get these at Joann's or Michael's or online. I am going to link, a lot of what I'm going to link is through an online stitching shop called Joann Stitchery. They are known to have very fast shipping. So if you place your order today, it'll be shipped out that same day or the next day, depending on when the mail comes. So if you, again, maybe forgot or put off shopping for your stitcher in your life, go to Joann. A lot of these items are going to be from Joann. But really, needles you can find in a lot of different places. You'll see that they have different sizes. I would say size 26 is a pretty good, safe bet for most stitchers that they would use. It's kind of the medium size. So I would say for most stitchers, size 26 will work. These are anywhere from $3 to $4. They can get a little more expensive the fancier the needle. This pack here, there's 6 of them in here, was $3. Okay, so you can mix and match and use that as a stocking stuffer if you celebrate Christmas and do stockings, or you can kind of add it to create a kit, which I'll talk about in a minute. Needle minders is another thing. So needle minders here's one example. There are tons out there. Here's one example what it is. It's a cute little critter, and on the back is glued a magnet, and then there's another piece to the magnet that comes off. And what you do is you place this on your stitching. So say this is my fabric that I'm stitching. I put it on, see the magnet is here, and this is magnetized so it will actually hold my needle when I'm stitching. So that's how they work. They come all sorts of shapes and sizes. Some are handmade out of clay. They're actually very hard to find. They can range, you know, a lot of the ones I like are in the $5 to $6 range. One of my favorites, I'll link some from the Grime down below that are $5 to $6. One of my favorites is from an Etsy shop called Stitchingly Along. She also has very quick shipping. I've ordered from her a number of times, and I like her. So this is an example of one of hers from Stitchingly Along, the Etsy shop. I like them because they're very lightweight. They hardly weigh anything at all, so it's not going to weigh down your stitching. And they're flat. They're completely flat, so they hold your needle very well. So I like these. I think they're cute. You can buy one of them. You can buy several of them. Stitching Along is one of my favorite shops for needle minders, around $4. Stitching Along also sells something called scissor fobs, which I have an example here. They're also known as zipper pulls. So it's something like this, right? Like a long chain of really pretty beads and buttons and charms. And you can see they have a little hook up here, and you can hook it up onto your scissors, the holes where your fingers go in your scissors, so it helps you keep track of your scissors. You can also attach these onto zippers if you have a project bag, which I'll show you. Let me show you in here a different one. And so it helps you grasp the zipper. So here's an example of a project bag, which I'll talk about in a minute, with the zipper pull. So you can see the zipper actually is way up there. And for some people, especially if you have arthritis or you know, any type of grasping can be very difficult. And so this makes it pretty and fun and thematic, which we love, but it also is functional in that it helps with the grasping of something. So those are called, they are called scissor fobs. They might be called zipper pulls. Stitchingly Along sells them. They range there maybe around $10 or so for one of those. Grime also sells some scissor fobs as well, which are around $12. Grime also sells a tin. It's a small tin. If you think of like a miniature Altoids, like the mini Altoids, they sell a small tin that holds your needles. So it comes with a magnet inside that will hold your needles all in one spot. That is around $6. And then I wanted, speaking of tins, so we Stitchers love tins. Okay, I'm just going to tell you, I know it's silly, it seems ridiculous, but we love tins. Here's a tin that I got from StitchCon. Somebody was celebrating their 50th birthday. It's a black tin. It's empty inside. It came filled with little accoutrement, if you will, and we love it. Now, why Stitchers love these things? One, you can stitch a little piece and put it on top here, and it's cute, and it can hold stuff. So let me show you an example. I actually went to Walgreens, and I bought an Altoids tin. Altoids tins work just fine. It smells a little like Altoids, but, you know, that'll wear off. And so when I open it up, so I've made this kind of, I love this. I think this is like a little emergency kit, right? Like that you might keep in your car or your purse or something. So this is like a little emergency kit. I have my needle minder, which because it's magnetic, this is a tin and there's a magnet, it sticks right there. I can fit my needles. My needles were in here before I pulled them out. So I can fit my pack of needles in there. I have a skein of floss. You can just throw in a skein of floss. You can get these at Michael's or Joann's. They're 60 cents a piece. Super easy. If you're at Walgreens, pick up a pair of tweezers. Tweezers are great for, especially if you have cats or dogs. Cat hair, dog hair, rabbit fur, all of that will get in the stitching, and these are great for pulling out the hairs. I have this little teeny tiny seam ripper. Again, you can get this in the sewing section at Joann's or Michael's. It's little tiny, and it's to rip out seams or rip out stitches if you need to very carefully. And you know what else fits in here? A gift card. So I had to check to see if a gift card would fit in here, and it does, just barely. So this is a Starbucks gift card. You know, if you are doing like a $5, hey, buy yourself a coffee, needle minder, you can build this kit however you want with whatever your budget is, right? So I really like these, and then it's all in a tin. Now, if you didn't want to use Altoids, because it does smell a little, like I should probably take my floss out, honestly. It smells a little wintergreeny, but hey, at least it's a good smell, right? So this one that I got was a clean one. This was not an Altoids tin. You can see it's very, very clean. And they, I believe, got them on Amazon. I'm going to link below a pack of empty tins from Amazon. I think they might be slightly bigger than your Altoids tin. You get a 12 pack. 12 pack is around $20. So it is a little more than just going and buying Altoids. But if you clean this really well, it should be fine. I literally dumped out the Altoids right before filming and gave it a quick rinse, but I didn't actually clean it very well, if I'm being honest. So tins, any little tin things that are magnetic, love that. I love this idea of a little emergency kit because you can customize it to the individual you're giving it to, and you can do more or less depending on what your budget is. Okay. The other thing in this needle, I forgot to say I'm in the needles, needle minder, fob tin section. The other thing that I kind of put in here because I wasn't sure where else to put it is called a stitch starter. You really can't see that. It is a little, this one's plastic or acrylic device that tells us where on our fabric to start our project. So you can see it has 1-inch borders, 2-inch border, or 3-inch border, depending on what our needs are for that fabric. You place it in the corner of your fabric. So if you want a 2-inch border, you put your pin right here, and you know this is my starting point. These, I really like this. This is from an Etsy shop called Blue Ribbon Designs. This is around $9, but it lasts forever. At the time I bought this, it's been a long time since I bought this, a few years, they were also selling these cute little covers. I checked, they do not have these covers anymore, but I believe they sell a pattern where you can stitch your own cover and then make it. So they do sell the pattern for it. So I think that's a really great, again, stocking stuff for a night of Hanukkah, just a nice little gift as well. Okay, real quick, we'll move into the threads section, which I have this one. This is DMC. This is a very common thread. It is 100% cotton. It is around 60 cents for one skein. Threads range in price, in the US anyway, from 60 cents up to $7 or $8 for like the really, really nice silks. Garon has a good selection of threads. Cotton, there are fancier, so this is cotton, but then there's like fancier, they're called overdyed cotton, so they have some variegation in the colors, which are around $2 to $3 a skein. So I'll link that below, but you can also get DMC, you can get at Joann's and Michael's. And if you don't know what colors you need, you know, a lot of stitchers use black and white a lot. So that's always a good guess. One year my mom put in my stocking, yes, I still get a stocking. I love it. They just put in some skeins. They said they got some red, black, and white. And they said, we thought those are colors you could always use. And they're right. You can always use those colors. Or if you know your stitcher's favorite colors, get them some of their favorite colors or just pretty colors. Or maybe seasonal, right? Maybe if you celebrate Christmas, it's red and green. Maybe you met at university and you want to get university colors. Anything like that, you know, can be personalized a little bit, but we love adding stuff to our stash. So this is a really good kind of way to help build up the stash. The other thing I want to mention is something called a thread keep. Now, again, these vary in prices. Garon Stitchery has them for around $12. This is not one from Garon. This was a gift given to me. But they are often either, this one is really thick cardboard. Sometimes they're made out of wood. And they have holes in it. And you loop your thread through these holes, and when you're working on a project, you can work from this. So this is another fun gift idea if your stitcher uses thread keeps, is what these are called. Around $10 to $12. Okay, next, finishing materials. Let's talk finishing materials. Now, one of the things, let me get my tin back. Finishing materials range, and not everybody finishes their own stuff. So this could be something that's considered a little more personal. Beads, if your stitcher likes to do projects with beads, just getting them, again, similar to the floss, like favorite colors, seasonal colors, anything like that. These bead packs, you get all these beads, they're usually under $2 a pack. And you know what? They fit perfectly in the tin. You could get 2 or 3 of these packs for your beaders, some beading needles. There are needles that are specific to beading. Close it up, and there's the gift. Happy holidays, right? I love this idea. So beads are always fun. And then on Joann Stitchery, they have a lot of ribbon, lace, velvet type things, and I'll link all that below. Buttons, fun things like that that you can just get and they can store in their stash until they're ready to finish a piece. Let's talk scissors. Scissors vary greatly in price. So I have several pairs of scissors. Joann sells scissors, embroidery scissors, for between $12 and $14. They also sell a cover that will go over to protect the tips. This is a pair of scissors that I picked up. This is DMC embroidery scissors. I picked it up at Michael's. It's around $7 to $10, depending on if there's a sale. They work just fine. I also have a fancier pair of scissors that I bought that was $70. So the range is huge. But just picking up a pair of embroidery scissors, these are a tad too big to fit in the Altoids tin, but they do sell smaller ones as well if you wanted to put it in the Altoids tin. So embroidery scissors, we can never have too many of them. And then as I was showing you, I'm not going to do it here because my fingers aren't working quite well, but this is how you would attach the scissor fob to the hole there, and then it's easier for you to find it. So that's how that would work. So scissors, $10, $12. Sometimes they're less than $10. Sometimes they're very, very expensive. So it really just depends on, I mean, you certainly do not need to spend $70 for a pair of scissors. That is a luxury. That was a birthday gift to myself. And it is my only pair that is like that. You can get very, very nice scissors for $20. So there's a big range of embroidery scissors. Next up, let's talk grime guards and project bags. I forgot to pull a grime guard, but a grime guard is a piece of cloth that's maybe 3 inches thick, and it goes around somebody's hoop, or if they use the square hoops, which are called Q-snaps, they go around there and they protect the fabric from getting dirty from touching when we touch it, when we hold our hoops or our Q-snaps. They range in size from $9 to $12 or so. I'm going to link them on Joann. Joann does not have a ton right now. They do have a few on their site. They sell them in different sizes, and if I had to guess, I would say either an 8x8 or 11x11 is kind of some of the more common sizes to get. Joann also has mesh bags that I will link down below, around $15, and they're fun because you can actually embroider on the bag itself, and you kind of like make your own project bag. What else? Oh, one of the other things that I really like from Joann is this size bag. This is a 6 by 9 inch bag. They don't all look like this, right? Like the patterns change. And what I like about this is you could fit a small project in here. These are about $12. You can fit a small project. You could fit your stitching supplies in here, anything like that. It's easy to mail. If you're mailing the gift, it's lightweight, it's flat. So this could be a nice gift idea as well. Speaking of bags, if you aren't able to order online for whatever reason, I also went to Walgreens and I picked up this in the makeup department. This is a makeup bag. This was $10. I thought this was really cute. Now, my Walgreens didn't have a huge selection, but I thought this was perfect because you can see what's inside of it. So I thought this was a really nice way to, you could fill it up with that famous Altoids tin in here. You could maybe put a small chart in there, something like that, and gift this as a bag. It's called a clear clutch. And again, it's in the makeup aisle, kind of where you would find makeup bags. So this is another great idea if you left it too late and you can't wait for something to be shipped. Walgreens makeup bag somewhere that's really cute. Go to Joann's or Michael's, grab some embroidery scissors, some embroidery floss, needles, and that can make a really nice gift. Okay, now, embroidery hoops. Let's talk for a minute about embroidery hoops. I also didn't bring these. There is an embroidery hoop called Nerge, which is super fun to say. Nerge, $7 to $10. I'll link them down below. Fat Quarter Shop. They're kind of becoming very, very popular. I have not personally tried them, but I know that they are quite popular. I like Q-snap frames, which are the embroidery hoops, but they're square. Those range $10 to $15. And again, if I had to guess about a size, they come in different sizes. I would say 8x8 or 11x11 would be kind of the more common sizes. Something else that even non-stitchers can appreciate are these. These are magnetic cable ties. Stitchers use these to hold their fabric when it's in the embroidery hoop. If there is excess fabric, they can wrap this around the excess fabric to hold it out of the way, and they're magnets, so they clip together. I'm going to link this below. This is the only brand I've tried. This is called Smart Cool, and I have heard that this is the brand that you want, that the other brands don't work as well. So I will link the Smart Cool, and they come in 2 different sizes. I think this is the shorter size that I have, and I would like to get the bigger size as well to have both. These are $18, so they aren't cheap, but you get a lot of them, so I got all of these in the one packet. And you can use these around the house, right? I mean, they're cable ties, so, they're versatile. They're not just for stitching. Okay, next category before we move up in price is planners. So some stitchers really like to plan. I'm one of them. There is a book called Book of Days, which is a 2023 planner for cross stitchers. You can also get just a monthly planner off of Amazon for $7 or $8. The Book of Days is around $15. So you can always pick up that for 2023. All right, moving on to the category, my next price category is $20 to $50. All right, so we're bumping it up. And project bags, fall in this range. They're around $20 from Grime, which is one of my favorites. My other favorites is Gamma's Treasures on Etsy. They're around $30, but they are, I don't have one in front of me. They're similar to this. This is not a Gamma's Treasures bag. This is by Crafty Corey. You can get them at my local needlework shop, Acorns and Threads. But they are similar in that they have a vinyl front. Okay. So that's Gamma's Treasures. I also love Corey's. This is another one of my favorites, but she does not have a website. You can call Acorns and Threads and say, hey, I want to purchase a bag. Okay. So you could do that as well. So that one, and Corey's are about $28. The same for Gamma's Treasures. Garan, I can show you what one of Garan's bags. I thought I was so well prepared, but I realize I'm not. So this is one of Garan's bags. So they have the Velcro closure, the inside These are very nice as well. These are some of my favorites. Okay, again, they don't have a lot on their website right now, so just be aware there are a few, but not a ton. Next category in this section, this $20 to $50 section, is a magazine subscription. So you can get just Cross Stitch magazine. You could get a subscription for around a 2-year subscription for $30 total, so about $15 each year. I just looked, that was their latest deal. I just looked right before I filmed this. The magazine, just Cross Stitch, comes every other month. So you get 6 issues a year. Maybe you get 7 because you get the bonus Christmas issue. So 2 years for $30. The other one is called World of Cross Stitching, which is a UK magazine. That one is more expensive. It is $50 a year, but you get 13 issues. So you comes every single month. Now, if you live in the US, which is where I am, there is a delay, right? Because they're shipping it from England. So there is a delay in getting them. So, I might get the December issue talking about Christmas stuff in January. I'm fine with that. I have plenty of other things to work on. But it's really fun to get a print copy. Now, there are digital copies as well, which you could get if you don't want to deal with mailing and shipping and all that. Or if your stitcher likes doing things on their tablets or their phone, anything like that. I like the hard copies personally, but that's an option. The other popular magazine is Punch, Needle, and Primitive Stitcher, and I will link all of these below. That one is $40 for 1 year. You get 4 issues, so it comes out once a quarter. Punch, Needle, and Primitive Stitcher. It is a beautiful, beautiful magazine. Very high quality. All right, our next category are the treasure boxes. This I saw on Garon Stitchery. They range in price from $24 to about $30. They're treasure boxes, so you can put treasures inside the box, but they have an opening on the top where you can stitch a piece and put it in the top. So it really does make it personal and special. It would make a great gift. They also have jewelry cases. They have a leather needle case on there. The jewelry cases are similar. There's a spot for you to put a stitch piece in there. Those are more in the $50 range. I believe they are real leather. Another category that I wasn't sure I was going to do, but I decided I should. This is one that varies greatly from person to person. Is Lapstands. Now, there's a lot of different types of Lapstands out there. One that Garon sells is the R&R Lapstand. It is around $50. I will link that down below. I went onto Amazon and I searched Lapstands. I hope the link will work. I'll plug in my search. They range from $25 on up, but you need to read the reviews very carefully because quality varies quite a bit on those Lapstands. Okay, so just keep that in mind if you're looking on Amazon. Make sure you read those reviews quite well. We're going to bump up to the over 50. Speaking of Lapstands, we're going to bump up to the over $50 price point. So again, Lapstands, Kay's Creations, I'll link that down below, is a very popular brand of Lapstands. They range from $60 on up, but they are very good quality. Another idea, over $50, is what I call of the month club. So stitchers have thread of the month clubs, fabric of the month clubs, things like that. So every month they are getting a piece of fabric or some threads in the mail. It's usually a surprise. Prices range greatly. The reason why it's in the over 50 category is because I was adding up how much you would spend for, say, a year subscription. The prices are anywhere from $15, $20 to $30 a month, depending on what you pick, what size fabric, all of that. So the range, it does range. So I'll put some of my favorite of the month clubs down below. And so you can look and see if that is something that you want to do. One of the most popular ones, which is color and cotton. So if stitchers are actually watching this, the color and cotton is not listed because as of this filming, they said they weren't even taking wait lists anymore, just due to their high demand. So I did not list them. So you'll see some other, and there's a ton. Fat Quarter Shop as well does not have any of their kind of the regular Weeks Dye Works, MPI Silks, that type of thing. None of them are listed right now, so I didn't even put them in there because there isn't even a way to sign up for a wait list. So for those who are stitchers, that's why those are missing. And then the last category of the over 50, which I just have as other, there is from the Fat Quarter Shop, which is another online retailer. They have something called Stitch Quarterly, where once a quarter, they will send you, or your stitcher, a kit. You get a bag, you get a chart, fabric, floss, some other needle minders, some other fun accoutrements as well. That is $40 a quarter. So if you were to do it the whole year, right, it'd be $160, which is why it falls in that over 50. So you would get 4 complete kits for your stitcher, and it might be kind of fun to do that around December, and then they have a whole year coming up of that. So that's my list. I mean, there are so many other things out there. It just depends on your budget and your time and are you able to order online, or do you just have to run out? Are you a Christmas Eve shopper where you're running out last minute trying to, fill up your makeup bag full of stitchy goodies? It's possible. And a gift card is always, come on, we always love it. One stitching shop I have not mentioned is 123 Stitch, which they are also very good, and they have a lot. I will link them down below as well. So you can get a gift card from 123 Stitch. You can get a gift card from Garon Stitchery. Do know that Garon Stitchery in particular, this gift card now smells like wintergreen Altoid mints. For Garon, their gift certificates, they go in and do it manually, and that is for your own safety. So allow a couple of days for that to happen. It's not an instant download where you instantly get the gift certificate. I mean, they are very fast, so that's not a concern, but just, they are a small business. There are only 2 of them running this entire shop. So, and they want to protect your money and your account and all of that. So it can take a day, right, to get that actual gift certificate. I didn't put charts in this video either because, again, that varies wildly and widely depending on the person's interests. And you can find charts on Garon Stitchery. You can find charts on Fat Quarter Shop, on 123 Stitch, and all that. I hope you found this helpful. It was so much fun to think about and do and think of these categories, and really to see that so much of our items fall in that under $20 category, but why then am I spending way more than $20? Anyway, I hope you found this helpful. Send this to your non-stitcher loved ones so that they will have some ideas of shopping for you. And I will see you next time. Bye.